we're going to carry on the walk around. Next up, we have got Unifiber, Loft Sails, Exocet, and I have already lined up the three main men to talk about this. Who are we going to kick off with? Right, let me introduce you first. We've got your Unifiber taking over the whole business. He's buying everything up. We're going to talk to him last. You're pleased to meet you.
Hey, Ben.
We've got, obviously, Patrice Belbeoch. Does he need any introduction? He looks taller up there. I'm not that short, honestly. And we've got Monty Spindler as well, the main man from Loft Sails. So we're going to speak to all these three guys. Kicking off. You want to kick us off, big man?
Can do.
Okay,
can do.
I mean, you've got a fair few Exocet boards in the range. Where are we starting?
We can start wherever, sitting with this one.
Foil.
Foil
Yeah, foil board. We've actually got a bit of wind today out there, so there's a few foilers out there.
Yeah, we're presenting the smallest foil board we have, that's 81. And in the range we have three more sizes, which is 85 and 91. Been there from day one on the foil scene, so
yeah, you've been
very keen
foiler.
Yeah, keen foiler at the beginning, and well, still go, but a little bit less for my taste. Getting a bit too fast, those guys. So
they're quick, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's getting a bit scary. 30 knots okay, but now 35, 38 knots.
What front wings are you using? Because that's the talk of the town at the moment. Front wings are just getting smaller and smaller. But for the average guy, it's getting small. It's getting maybe too small.
Getting too small, and the problem is not really to foil. That it's difficult to foil with a small wing.
Yeah.
It's scary because if you want to really go into the range of a front wing that is around 400 or 360, you have to go over 30 knots. So. And at 30 knots, if you don't have control, or if you don't go often enough, you just don't make it because
there's not a lot of room for error with a 400 wing.
And if you fall one time, two times, you're stepping back from trying to go that fast because it's so hard when you fall and
so
you break everything.
Bit of information for people at home, because it is interesting information. You get into foiling, we see the top guys. We talk to the top guys. They're talking of 400, like you say, 360 front wings. What's a good front wing size to aim for your average guy? What have you found is, like, between you guys, between your local riders or whatever, what's a good compromise between speed, control, ease of use? Where should be people sort of heading for at the top end? Because obviously bottom end we go pretty big and stable, and then the smaller it gets, faster it gets, more a little bit unstable and how more technical.
It really depends what you are aiming for. If you are looking for going reaching and like speed reaching, then you obviously already have a very keen foiler. So you want to go, you can go down as to be pretty balanced. 420, I think it's pretty good. It's not too small. It's not too big too, even if you're using like a 5.0. Also, it really depends on the width of the boat you are keen to go. So it's not an exact science. Some masts are really stiff, so it's kind of a bit a dilemma or a compromise. If you have a stiff mast, you prefer to have a wider board to be able to bend it a little bit. But then you put a lot of pressure on the wings too, so it feels a bit draggy.
Okay.
So, and when you reduce, I prefer almost a softer mast. If I take a very narrow board, like a 71 or 75 board.
Okay.
And that's just because I'm not foiling as much as the top guys, and it's getting a bit more difficult for me to find the correct balance. So I like the mast to sit there, and I can go as quick as I can. And my top speed can be around 30, 31 knots.
Which is quick.
Which is okay, It's already very quick. Yeah. And to go over that, well, you need wind anyway. So far we haven't found the magic formula to go super quick in 10 knots of wind. Yeah. So we're approaching 30 knots, but those guys, when they want to go 38, we see speed almost 40 knots on foil. They have wind, huh? They're using 3.7 or 4.3, and so this is not a light wind.
And interesting, like you say, the PLA guys are going on reaches. Not everyone. Foil works really well upwind, downwind as well. And maybe that's untalked about as much as it probably should be, because it's pretty good cruising board when you want to go some distance.
Exactly, and then you use different equipment. You use longer fuselage, you use bigger wings, and it's just a different discipline. You know, it's like some people, they like to go cruise around the bay, and they will go upwind like a boat, you know, and downwind exactly the same.
It is one of the best tools. You know, if you're maybe not into foiling yet and you don't quite see it, because the reaching stuff is amazing on a fin anyway, but the upwind ability of a foil is just, and it's comfortable. It's like sitting on the rail on an old longboard kind of feeling, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to go only reaching, like a lot of people do on the recreation sport, a lot of people, they just go from one point A to point B. They don't really go upwind or downwind. They don't explore the bay. And that's why when you have even in light wind, like a 650 front wing, it's enough, because you have a lot of pressure in the sail, a lot of pressure on the foot, and you go fast enough, you know, because you are pretty tight to the wind. So I would say 650, something like this, is pretty much their biggest front wing for light wind at the moment.
Okay. I mean, it's come down so much.
Yeah, it's come down. Before it was almost 800 for light wind, and big sails 9.0. Now they are reducing because you're just quicker.
So with the boards, 81s, that you'd say that's your wide one?
That's a narrow.
Narrow, I was going to say, that's pretty narrow. Because I know the P2A boys are talking about most of them using 85 wide as an overall sort of mid-range board. Is that sort of right?
Yeah, we also have an 85 wide. We didn't bring it here because we have so many gears already. And, but yeah, 85 is pretty much a good balance for light wind. And anyway, any foil board goes fast. You know, it's just a problem of control, and the people want to go super quick. They are more looking at low drag, so they will put the boat shorter, and now we start to see some boats with which are a bit profile on the rail. That's also coming, but that's really for the speed part of the foiling. So, but 85, I would say, is a very good compromise.
Okay. Yeah. Moving on, what other boards?
Well, keeping on the race, maybe we can check the slalom boards.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, we are at the Deafy Wind, and this is the full-on one. Where are we starting?
Well, we have a full part of the range. You know, we have a bigger board, which is 85, 71, and 62 and 58.
Okay.
So that's the 4 boards we have for slalom.
So what? 71.
62,
62,
and 58. That's the smallest one, and we have another one, 85, which is not a very popular board at the moment, because foil kind of took over that part of the business. But some people are coming back to that, you know.
It's interesting, because that was, you know, the big sort of 85 wide board was a big part of the business.
Yeah,
you know, and like you say, foil came in. They kind of destroyed it, but I'm seeing a lot more people maybe buying some of the older ones, but you know, and re-looking at the older, bigger Freeride sort of, you know, light wind slalom-y type boards as well.
Yeah, even myself, as I'm not racing anymore at all, you know, but I'm testing a lot, and I spend more and more time on slalom boards. For one reason also, I kind of find I'm stepping back a bit from the foiling extreme. Like I would say, I can go 30, 32 knots, but to go over that, for a few times, and if you don't sail enough, you stop for 1 month or 2, you go back on the foil board, you go 25 knots, and you feel like you're already 40 knots, you know.
Tell me about it, that's my speed.
So it's super scary, and it takes really long to go back into those speeds. Unless you are a bit well trained and so on. But for slalom, it's a different issue. You stop 6 months, you go back, it's the same.
It's like riding a bike, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like super easy. So all this collection, it's just brand new. We just redone it, and we are trying to make sure that those boards fits everyone. So
I mean, that's a small one, 58 wide. That's specifically probably from down here. You know, that sort of stormy, proper 35 knots. Sort of.
Proper 35 knots, and we're trying to make sure the board will fit to everyone. So we have a lot of tuck on the rail. We will just implement now something pretty cool that people find very a very positive. The inserts here, you can have 3 different positions.
Okay.
Using the 2 holes for the middle,
Yeah.
outside or inside. So because some people, when it gets too windy, they have a hard time to put the back foot in the foot
Yes.
strap.
So you're angling it.
No,
Okay.
so you can use outside on 1 hole.
Yeah.
You can use on 2 holes,
Yes.
and you can use it on one on the
angle
one
the strap.
inside. Not even. You just move everything.
Pull it everything. Okay.
Yeah, pull everything inside. So just like it is now.
Okay.
And what it does, people really enjoy it. If it's getting too choppy, it's sometimes it's very hard on the outside because it means you have to go.
Yes.
You know.
You got to push.
Yeah, you got to push because otherwise you get slammed with the sail and it's very hard to
Yes.
not to shade in. You know. And when you put the foot inside, you can sail more straight up.
Okay.
So a
Interesting.
lot of people on 40 knots.
Yeah.
They go, and then they go more and more to the beach. But when you go more and more to the beach, you also have to go down.
Yeah.
So and they're getting tired.
Very true.
So they like to have sometimes the foot more inside just to get a bit of breathing.
Yeah. So it's not right on the rail.
It's not right on the rail where you have to push. And when it's right on the rail, if you don't push, you tend to go upwind.
Yeah.
So it's getting really hard on the back foot because your foot position on the rail is not right.
Yeah.
So you are trying to go down, and you only sail on the back legs.
Yeah.
Then you put the foot strap inside. The foot is landing straight on the flat, and it's just easy to go down.
Yeah.
Just like a
That's
freeride board.
interesting. Yeah, very interesting. You've got that on all the slalom boards.
Yeah, we did this on all the slalom board this year. So they almost make a crossover between full-on slalom to like a free race option,
Okay.
just with a back foot strap.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Makes sense as well. Makes a lot of sense. Moving on. I mean, you've got the full range, so it's really cool.
Yeah,
to
I've
be
got
able
the
to see
full
it.
range, and this is like I was just talking about the free race model. So
Yeah.
this board is also like in performance. It's not really a downsize, but it's more like the board will be more forgiving.
Okay.
You know, so
This is the S Cross.
this is the S-Cross, and
So what market are we aiming this at?
the market will be aiming for like people want to sail with a switchblade, with not a full-on powerful full-on racing sails.
Yeah.
You can also put a no-cam sail on it. You know, some really good no-cam sails now that like Monty is doing with
Yeah.
oxygen. And so this board is, like I said, very forgiving. It's jibing super well, and you can jibe, like I said, with different style, either full on the rail,
Yeah.
or you can just move the rig forward and just like a lot of
Okay.
people do.
Yeah.
So it will just position the board super easy.
Interesting you say that because there is different styles of jibing. You've got the top guys there railing in, not everyone jibes like that.
Yeah. No one's. Some people like to jibe like that, but it's difficult to jibe like that if you don't go really fast.
Yeah.
And the problem when you want to jibe like that, it's often super difficult to take away the back foot.
Yeah.
You take away the back foot, and the board will start the nose will start to suck down, and you are almost
Yeah.
very close to catapult at
Yeah.
the beginning of foot exit. So. And then the different style is not so fast, and the board has quite an amount of V, and you go from V to V, so you just position the board on the other side just with the rig.
Okay. Interesting. Cool. Makes sense. What was this one?
So this is our entry price board, the Nano.
Okay.
This board is like I said, really good for all kind of sailors that want to have that don't sail so often. They're not looking to invest a lot of money into it.
Yeah.
Clubs, no
So
position.
cheapest construction.
Cheapest construction,
Yeah.
construction exactly. All
You've got the
insert-
foot strap inserts in the front.
inserts. Like we can see them here because we take the option to put the anti-twist insert straight away.
Okay.
So like this, there is no issue that the foot strap get unscrewed all the time. So
Yeah.
it's pretty easy.
That makes sense. Also, we've got, where's the next progression?
Yeah, that's S-Cross. That's the other version. So we have a two version. We have a carbon version and like a AST version of the S-Cross. So this one is more pricey, but a lot lighter.
What's the difference in price between the good construction and the roughly?
It's like a good, I would say, in the 500-600 euros. So there is quite a gap.
Yeah,
now.
quite a difference. Quite a difference, makes sense.
And the smaller size will be 155, 115, 125, and 145.
Okay. Yeah.
Three size into construction.
Makes sense. 72 wide for the 115.
Yeah. So we don't go down because when you start to go smaller than this in this program, we will then go into the board that we call cross.
Yeah.
And the cross will start at 114. And a lot of people will use this type of board like the cross for Defi Wind, for bump and jump. Like almost every car here.
It's like a more free-ridey, free wave.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
That's a board that is here.
Okay. Well, we'll leave the wave. Let's move on to that because it makes more sense in terms of. So that's the cross.
That's a cross. So like someone will have like an S-Cross. You want to downsize or a slalom board. There's a lot of people, for example, they want to have the smallest slalom board, the smallest sails, but actually in the race. They're a bit scared because they're going to be too technical. So they are taking a cross, you know. So, and you can use it either in the wave with one foot strap or you put a bigger fin and you use it with...
and you got what, power box in this?
Yeah, got a power box in the middle.
So it has got the thrusters on.
Yeah, I put the trusser on. The board is delivered like this for the carbon version.
Yeah.
And then we have the covers also delivered with the board. And,
it's a bit versatile board then.
Yeah, it's really versatile. And when you put the cover box on the bigger fin, the board starts to get a lot of lift straight away. So it's pointing really well upwind. And it's not too hard on the legs because very often freeride boards, the deck get a bit too thin.
Yeah.
So you start to have the, how you call that, the shin getting really stiff. You know?
I've got that.
Yeah.
That's my problem. Yeah. I'm like,
So we have quite a bit of a dummy curve around this. Like this, you can still have a fairly good amount of pressure.
Yes.
So those boards have actually almost identical rocker line to the slalom board.
Okay.
So it's really quick.
Yeah, so it's a quick rocker.
Yeah, it's a very quick rocker.
Okay, interesting. And comfortable to ride, like bottom shape, you know, does it eat the chop? Is it quite a smooth ride?
Super smooth ride, and that's what we have in all our boards, and even slalom boards.
Yeah.
Except the only board that doesn't have this, those shock absorber is a foil board because we don't need that.
Yeah.
But I have this from day one, and I think I'm one of the old timers that have been jumping a lot. I don't have hip problem. I don't have back problem.
There is a fair few with hip problems.
Exactly, and us we use it. It's very flush the deck.
Yeah.
And the only part.
So that is the heel bumper. Is that?
That's a heel bumper.
Okay, just for people. That's quite interesting actually.
And there is different density. Here it's very stiff. And here it's like a shoe. It's super soft with a lot of reflex. So it's not big and it's just on the heel. But in the front foot where you want to have the feeling of the board, you don't have it.
Yeah.
So it's not. And like other brand, they will use stack of pads to get the soft feeling.
Yes.
But it's a bit disturbing for me because you're a bit too high on the board compared to the rail. So you lose a little bit of something. Yeah. So your foot will absorb the chop. And like in slalom, what it does, instead of sailing a lot on the back foot, you can engage more on the front foot because you don't have this pressure of having tapping on the front foot, which you tend to, if you don't have the shock absorber, you always sail on the back leg. You know, that's the point.
It's super interesting. I think you're right. Like when you get those higher pads, it is strange how that little bit extra above the board, you don't get the same feeling.
Yeah, you don't get the same feeling because when you take away your foot from the foot strap for jibing or for different things, it's like one foot is higher than the other one.
Yeah.
And you kind of, it's a bit off balance for me. That's always how I felt.
Interesting. That's cool, man. Yeah.
No?
Makes sense. And then, I think the only one we haven't talked about is the waveboard, is it?
That's a waveboard,
Yeah.
and then we can.
Then we got around the side. I mean, interesting. Stay tuned if you're into Windsurfer LT. There's actually, I didn't realise, we just found out a bit of details, but more of that in a minute. Waveboard.
Waveboard. Well, here we have the X-Wave. That's also a new shape. This boat we completely redesigned. We made it a fairly a gap between the cross.
Yeah.
Like myself, I sail a lot on the cross because I'm not wave sailing so much, and when I've spent time on the water, I want to plane.
Yeah.
I want to go fast. I want to go
You
upwind.
love jumping though, don't you?
I jump less now, but
I mean, you like spinning around fast.
yeah, I like to fly on the all around because I hate to stand and to have a board that is very turny, but you just get 2 or 3 snaps. I'm not so much this because I'm not so patient with this style of sailing.
Yeah.
So, and also the condition doesn't allow this on many beaches. So I like fast boards, and this one is of course not as fast as a crossboard, but it's really turny. The rails are super. We have a lot of torque on the rail.
They're soft,
Yeah,
aren't
really soft. But the board has a huge amount of grip. So.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something new we did, and been testing this on this one and also on the longboard on the breeze.
Yeah.
And
what's that, thruster?
that's a thruster.
Yeah.
That's
So
a
you can
thruster.
put a pretty big single fin if you're that way inclined.
Yeah, exactly. And often some people they will typically Eurowave. They will either have a cross. If it's too windy, they want to tame a bit the speed.
Yeah.
And they will often go to this style of boat also.
Sometimes you don't want the fastest board out there. You know, it's not always optimum to go as fast as you can. You want to be planing around, but you don't always want the top speed to be slalom fast, you know.
No, of course, and you want to have the choice also. You can use a single with a very big fin, and you get a lot of lift.
Yeah.
As soon as you put the thruster, the boat will sail flat on the rocker. Sits really low, so they have control. So a lot of people also are sailing on lakes or in Grisson or Le Cat with those type of boats because they want control in nuclear wind.
Because it is nuclear down
It
here.
is nuclear, yeah.
I mean, not at the moment, but most of the time. Right, moving on round the side. If you enjoyed that, we have got lots of episodes that you might have missed, and there's plenty more coming. Stay tuned to the channel.